Hello and welcome along to Adobe Muse Basics with your host Robert Smith. In this video we're going to tackle the tricky procedure that's called parallax scrolling. And what that means is, let's put it in context. If I've got a page here which I've made, let's have a quick look at it. I've got a background which is simply a couple of striped rectangles repeated, and I've got a red, green, blue and yellow layer. If I just turn them off, you'll see they're all just the same size square like that. So I'll just turn them back on again. Now we're going to work on the green one to start with, so I'll just lock all the rest of the layers and we'll just turn them off so we can't see them. Okay, so let's have a look. If I Shift Command E to scroll this page, you'll notice that the green square and the background, they scroll at the same speed. Now that number is 1. Just remember that. That's the normal scrolling speed of a browser, and they call it 1 in Muse. They give it a term. Okay, so what if I wanted to change that? That's what parallax scrolling is all about. It's the ability to take that scrolling and to change direction, change speeds, and all sorts of things. So let's apply a bit of this. How we do it, you'll notice here I've got my scroll effects open and my layers as well. Now if I select this object on the stage and click on motion like this, you'll notice that this lights up now. Now get your head around this part. This is the tricky part. You'll see across the top here you've got a thing called a key position that you can move up and down by grabbing it like that. And if you'll notice, this number here is the key position. And how it works is, let's say we put our key position here, which is about halfway between the object and the top of the page. You'll see we're 98 pixels from the top of the page. And what this means is, this is the crux of it. These two numbers here, before 98 pixels, as the page scrolls, it'll do what these two numbers tell it to do. And how it works is, we've got up, down, left and right. If we have a number of 0, it won't do anything. But if I was to change this to 1, like that, so what's going to happen is, that's not going to do anything. So what I might do is, I'll go down at 1. See, I clicked on here. Now that will work. So let me explain this again. This key position here is this number here. And what it means is, as we scroll the page until it gets to 98 pixels, it'll do what these two numbers tell it. After 98 pixels, it will do something called the final motion. Okay, and what that means is, once the browser's past 98 pixels from the top of the browser, like that, it'll do these actions here again: up, down, left and right. So what have we got here? We've got, okay, before 98 pixels, it's just simply going to go down at the speed of 1, which is a normal browser. And after 98 pixels, it's going to go to the right at the speed of 3. Now, have you got a headache yet? That's pretty hard to understand, so let's have a look at it. Shift Command E, like this. As it goes down 98 pixels, now it goes to the right. Okay, let's watch that again. Okay, as you can see, as I scroll down, it scrolls the opposite direction, like that. And then when it gets to 98 pixels, it does the final motion, which is to the right at the speed of 3, as you can see. Now that's a little bit tricky to understand, and it took me a while to get my head around it. So let's put that into practice. What I want to do is, I want these squares to reveal themselves one behind each other, to sort of break apart, if you like, when we start to scroll. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to, I'll just turn back on my layers like this. I'll click on the green layer, make sure all the other layers are locked. So when I click on it, I am selecting the green layer. Now, okay, the key thing is here, we want it to start straight away, as soon as we start to scroll the browser. So to do that, we need to put our key position at 0, like that. And as you can see, there it is now, my key position, there. So what that means is, these two numbers won't come into play at all, because it only starts from the top of the browser. The only thing that will come into play are these final motions. So anytime you scroll, you are past 0, so the final motion will kick in. Okay, so we don't want it to go up or down anywhere, so we'll put 0 in there, but we do want it to go to the right. So we'll click on this here at the speed of 3, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to lock that layer now and do the same thing on the next layer down. Unlock it, the yellow one, and I'll just hide that so I can see the yellow layer. Click on it, click on motion like this. I'll give it 0, 0, 0. In other words, put my key position at 0, make that 0, and I don't want it to go anything in the final motion up or down, but I do want it to go to the left at the speed of 3, so I'll put 3 in. So all zeros and 3 down here. So let's have a look at that. Shift Command E. As you can see, it's not working properly. So let's have a look at that, see what the problem is. This will happen to you too. So I'll go to my, of course I'll turn my green layer on, it might help a little bit. Okay, so Shift Command E again. That's what we want. As you can see, I had the layer hidden, so therefore it wasn't working, but it is working. You'll notice the yellow and the green square now don't go up and down anywhere, they just go to the left like that. Okay, great. So let's come back here, kick in again. I'll just lock that layer, go to my blue layer, select it like that, click over here. I don't really have to turn them off. I know that if all of these layers are locked, well, that's the only one I'm selecting. So I'll select that, initial motion, and again, 0, 0. We want that to be 0 as well. But this time we don't want it to go left or right, we want it to go up at the speed of 3. So we'll change that number to 3. And then we'll do the last layer, the red layer, do the same thing, unlock it like that. Click on motion, make sure that all the numbers are 0. We don't want it to go up or down. Actually, we do in this case. We want it to go, this time we want it to go down for the speed of 3. So let's try that. Shift Command E. Look at that. What a fantastic effect that is. So what we've done, this is what parallax scrolling is all about. It's about changing the scrolling speed and direction, and you can change it in minute levels too to create fantastic effects. So that's the basic structure of how you would look at this thing called scroll effects. You select an object and you place this key position. In this exercise here, we placed it at 0. Therefore, everything kicks in straight away. In other videos, we'll just change that and have a bit of a play with it. Okay, thanks for watching.